This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
You're listening to the Think Unbroken podcast, and I'm your host, Michael Unbroken. I'm an author, speaker, coach, and advocate for adult survivors of childhood trauma and abuse. In this podcast, you will learn how to transform your trauma into triumph, turn breakdowns into breakthroughs, and go from victim to being the hero of your own story. You can learn more at thinkunbrokenpodcast.com, and of course, check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify at Think Unbroken Podcast. Hey, what's up, my friends? Happy 2025. It's amazing to be back with you. As you may know, I have been on a little bit of a hiatus, spending some time with myself and just trying to get myself in a position to come in 2025 ready to take on the challenges of life. So over the course of the last couple of months, I've been on a bit of a grand adventure, to say the least. In fact, I've been to over 10 countries since October. Left Las Vegas, written another book called Mission Driven Coaches, which you can actually check out at missiondrivencoaches.com. I've been working on my physical health, my mental health, relationships, friendships, and more. And so one of the things that I wanted to do towards the end of 2024 is take some time, much needed time, for myself. As you know, for over 7 years, we put out hundreds of episodes of the podcast, many of them me having conversations with you through this microphone like today. And one of the things that happened towards the end of last year is I started to feel a bit of burnout around the constant recording, and I knew that I needed a break. So you may have noticed over the course of the last few weeks, there's not been a new episode. Today is the first new episode, and it is 2025. It is amazing to be here with you guys. And as I sit recording this, looking out my window, seeing the ocean, and just thinking about the journey, I just have a lot of gratitude. And first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to those of you who still continue to listen to the show, to leave reviews, to leave comments, to tell people about the show. And it means the world to me. You know, when I set out to create Think Unbroken, the only thing in my mind was, can I help people on their healing journey create transformation? And I know that this journey is very difficult. There's literally nothing easy about overcoming childhood trauma, about learning to love yourself, and ultimately being the hero of your own story. Like, there's nothing easy about it. I wish there were, but there just isn't. And so as I'm thinking about what it looks like to build our lives in this year, what continually comes to mind is, how do we put ourselves in a position to be successful this year? And one of the things that I'm focused on in terms of my own personal goals is really trying to evaluate and understand, what do I want? Clarity in terms of getting a very in-depth understanding about what it is that we want is the cornerstone to success in life. If you think about this, when you have clarity in your life, you are more apt to have success. And people ask me a lot of times, well, what does clarity have to do with healing trauma? Well, it comes in this aspect of looking at and understanding that when you have clarity, you have a direction to move towards. One of the things that happens when we come from traumatic backgrounds is we don't fully understand autonomy, how to be ourselves, how to be an individual, our wants, our needs, our interests, our boundaries. And so we kind of get lost in the shuffle about what it means to be a human being. And the hardest part about that is in getting lost around what it means to be a human being is that instead of us living life by design, we live life by circumstance and what happens. And I personally have been there many times over where I'm sitting looking at my life, asking myself, is this really what I want? And then I grab a pen and a piece of paper and I start writing down some ideas. So one of the things that I focus a lot of my energy on is called the Triad of Life: health, wealth, and relationships. And in the Triad of Life, what I'm able to do is create a foundational understanding about what it is that I want to accomplish. I'll give you a couple of examples. So here's what you do. You grab a piece of paper and a pen. Let's treat this episode and this conversation we're having today as a real life coaching session. So if you've ever done coaching with me, or if you haven't, I invite you to come and join us and find out more, right? If you go to thinkunbroken.com, you can actually schedule a free coaching call with me.
Hey, Unbroken Nation, we'll be right back to the show, but I wanted to let you know that you can grab a copy of my first book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma, for free. If you go to book.thinkunbroken.com, you can download the PDF ebook version of the book and get everything that I know about the baseline of healing trauma for free, downloaded to your email right now. Just go to book.thinkunbroken.com to download your copy of Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma for a PDF for your phone. Again, that is book.thinkunbroken.com.
But that said,
if you're running a retail business, don't let disorganized order fulfillment cause chaos. Use ShipStation instead. From running a business out of your garage to multiple warehouses, ShipStation is ideal for every phase of your growth. Save time with one login for all your stores and by automating tasks. Plus, you'll get the best shipping rates from global carriers. Calm the chaos with the shipping software that delivers. Start a free trial at shipstation.com/audio. That's shipstation.com/audio.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Taxes was waiting around for your taxes to be done, which led to worrying about not getting any money back. Now Taxes is matching with a TurboTax expert who can do your taxes in a day to get you up to $4,000 fast with a refund advance loan. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Expert filing only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Refund advance has $0 loan fees and 0% APR. Refund advance loans may be issued by First Century Bank, N.A. or WebBank. Terms apply. Subject to approval.
let's look at this from the perspective of an in-person coaching session. All right. So here's what I would tell you if you were coming to me and you said, I'm not really sure what I want to do with 2025. Okay. The first thing that I would say is let's grab a pen and a piece of paper. And on the top of this, what we're going to do is we're going to write the Triad of Life. Okay. Now you're going to cut that piece of paper into thirds. And 1/3, you're going to write health. And 1/3, you're going to write wealth. And in the other third, you're going to write relationships. Okay. Because health, wealth, and relationships ultimately are everything about our life, our journey, and the experiences that we're having. So in the first section, what you're going to need to do in here is write down your goals around your health. What do you want your health to look like? Now, you have to get very clear. Most people make the mistake when they create goals of making them very vague. I want to be healthier in 2025. That's not going to work, right? What you need to do is say, I want to work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes every single week, right? That is a goal with clarity. Maybe it's health. I want to stop drinking more than one time per week. Or maybe it's even, I don't want to drink at all. Now, when you get into wealth, now it's a conversation around money and finances, perhaps financial freedom. I'll give you a great example. This is a personal example of mine this year. I want to invest into a new coach who's going to take me to a new level in my relationships. Okay? That's how do I get a better relationship with my friends, intimate, family, with everyone around me, clients. How do I lead through example and learn from someone that I see in the world who has amazing relationships with people? So I put that as a tick list on there. It could also be, I want to separate myself from my family because they're not allowing me the space that I need to become an individual and be my full authentic self, right? So you can see these goals, they're not always necessarily about something big and ambitious. Sometimes they're just about normalizing your life. And finally, in relationships, this one gets really interesting, right? It's the same idea. So what you do, just spend 10 minutes in each section and write down goals with clarity about what you want 2025 to look like in your health, your wealth, and relationships. Because when you do this, now you have a direction to go. And instead of living life by circumstance, you start living life by design. This is one of the things that I focused a lot on over the course of the last couple months, just building and creating clarity around what's in front of me, what I want to accomplish, how I want my life to look, and who I want to have this life with. And so this is a key way to start to build not only authenticity, but authority over your own life. Because so many people are just letting life happen to them instead of going and creating it. And one of the things that's really interesting about the aspect of trauma, when you factor that into this conversation, if you've spent your whole life in survival mode, not having the space to fully authentically be you, then when you make a decision as an adult to do whatever is required to become yourself, you are walking down the path of healing, because ultimately healing is really about authenticity and revealing the truth of who it is that you are. So 2025 is an exciting time. I know that there's chaos in the world. There's always going to be chaos in the world. The next thing, I assure you, my friends, is coming. But if you can put yourself in a position to be successful because of your clarity and the goals you're choosing to create, no matter what happens in the outside world, you will still be in control. And that, my friend, is what it means to be unbroken. So again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time, your effort, your energy, for showing up here week in, week out for years and years and years. We have a lot of amazing guests on the docket for 2025, some phenomenal conversations. I'm going to be back with you with more frequency, sharing my ideas, my mission, my journey, but also the tips and tricks about how you can continue to go deeper into this healing. And again, you can hop on thinkunbroken.com at any time to schedule a free coaching call with me. All right, my friend, until next time, be unbroken.
Thank you so much for listening to Think Unbroken. Please share this episode with someone who could use it and help us move forward in our mission of ending generational trauma in our lifetime. And if you would, please take 5 seconds to pop on iTunes or Spotify, hit that 5-star, leave a review, and you can also reach out to us on social at Michael Unbroken or at Think Unbroken. And of course, you can check out our YouTube channel at Think Unbroken. Thank you for being a part of Unbroken Nation, my friends, and until next time, be unbroken. We'll be right back to today's show, but before we do, I want to let you know that you can get a free copy of my first book, Think Unbroken, Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma, when you leave a review for the podcast on Apple Podcast, either on desktop or on your phone. All you have to do is go to Apple Podcasts, look up Think Unbroken, click follow in the top right, and then go and leave a review at the bottom. And when you leave that review, screenshot it and send it over to book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can upload your contact and mailing information, and we will send you a free copy of this award-winning best-selling book, absolutely free, including shipping. Just go to book.thinkunbroken.com to upload your screenshot review from Apple Podcasts for the Think Unbroken podcast. And until next time, my friend, be unbroken. I'll see ya.